And good morning, welcome to VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner on Tuesday, the 18th of March. Morning, Paul. How you doing today?
Not too bad, thank you. Cold is better. The sun is out. Temperatures are warming up. All things looking positive here. Gold
No,
price
let's
above
get the key
20.
one. Gold is at $3,025. I mean,
Yeah,
gold is going up. We've been saying it for a long time here, and gold is leading the way for what will be a huge commodities bull run. I was reading some really interesting stuff last night, actually, about how China is stockpiling a lot of commodities. And it's not stockpiling it for economic reasons, it's stockpiling it for geopolitical reasons, shall we say. Whereas places like America and the West basically have no stockpiles of natural resources. And there is going to be an almighty squeeze put on us, basically by the Chinese. They're playing a very clever game. And you're going to see these things go to the blooming roof. And if you're not in it, you won't win it. Simple as that.
yep, I
Anyway,
think so.
right. That left silence, didn't it? Okay, let's just touch base on a bit of news that actually came out yesterday afternoon, Paul, because it was on the TSX. But Myriad Uranium released some more assay findings, didn't they?
Yes, they did. This Myriad Uranium TSX listed VSA client, Wyoming Uranium Exploration Copper Mountain Project. Released assays or chemical assays from historic Union Pacific drilling on the Copper Mountain project. And specifically, what they were looking for is to see whether the chemical assays would show a significant difference in uranium content from what had been gamma ray probe readings of estimates of uranium content on a significant portion of the core only at that Union Pacific did about 3 decades ago. Findings have been that up to 20% higher grades of actual chemical content of uranium in a good number of samples, and particularly down in the low range of gamma probe readings where they Union Pacific didn't bother to proceed with the chemical assay on a cost basis. And 20% higher grades now, however, with the uranium price where they are, means that probably the company should move to a broader sense of follow-on drilling and chemical assaying as it proceeds to define the mineralization out of Copper Mountain. That's essentially what it's finding, and we're still have about 14 holes still pending for assays yet.
Well, we like it anyway. If you want to play the uranium market through a junior explorer, it's one of our favourites. I think it's probably fair to say that we like F3 as well, because that's the spin out from fission uranium that made everybody so much money. And it's always good to follow the people who are doing it all over again. Right, go on, Paul. What else would you like to talk about today? Pick a couple of
Also,
stocks and talk about it.
yeah, real quickly, some long-standing financing deals that finally coming to fruition here with positive statements out. Pensana, for instance, has released the news that Loganjo REE mine project there in Angola appears to be funded now. That's a $268 million project there, backed by the board of the Africa Finance Corp. And the facility will comprise about 60% of the phase one project funding through that entity. So it's moving right ahead there with that big slug of money commitment there. We also finally, after years and years now, the banks, or two significant banks down in Ethiopia, have given credit approval for the lending to Kefi Copper and Gold for their Tulu Kapi open pit gold mine there in Ethiopia. It would be the largest gold mine operation in Ethiopia once it's built. So, and has been many years in attempting to get this credit and banking approval completed. So long suffering Harry Adams there finally perhaps coming to final fruition to get this funded on that. And also wanted to mention too, our past client Alkemy is now in exclusive offtake talks for uh, lithium feed for their Teesside lithium project to produce lithium hydroxide up there in the north of England. So it didn't say in the press release, though, as to how long the exclusive period would be with Touchstone Capital Partners in that negotiation, but it is about 100,000 tons of lithium carbonate equivalent, which is about 5 years production for the fit process train one as designed for this facility. So significant news there.
Yeah, in many ways, that statement left more questions than answers, I think, but we will watch this space. Okay, anything else, Paul?
Yeah, we had Starcore in the news yesterday, and they were back in the news again here as well. And this is pretty significant news in my estimation. Starcore, Mexico, small scale silver producer on the TSX. Results of in plant test work on their carbon and leach circuit to treat carbonaceous silver gold ores at the San Martin mine and processing plant have proved successful. 2,000-ton batch of ore that had a grade of 2.2 grams per ton gold and 20 grams per ton silver, has 80% recovery of the gold, 63% on the silver. This is a treatment circuit which runs alongside the existing circuit at San Martin, so they can continue feeding that right away without additional capex, but they're also now assessing whether or not they should convert the whole plant over to be able to treat carbonaceous ore. Now the thing is they have a lot of carbonaceous material that had not been considered as part of the mineable resources at this point in time at San Martin, but it would allow them to more than double their cash flows looking forward here. So that's the key thing to be looking at Starcore.
Yeah, look, it's one of the Mexican gold and silver companies that I'm quite keen to go and visit in the summer. Because I think that particularly, with the way the gold and silver price is going at the moment and what's happening in Mexico, they all look pretty attractive. What I want to do is obviously work out which is the best. There's 6 there. Maybe they're all the best. Maybe some are better than others. Don't know. That's for me to go and find out, Paul. Right, okay, that'll do, I think, for today. Are you in tomorrow or not? I can't remember.
I am in, yep.
All right, I know you're off later on, so very good. We'll speak tomorrow, Paul. Thanks.
Very good.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.